Okay, got a little back end stuff going. Okay, chat's live. We'll go tell the people. Probably should start the application. Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. Today I'm playing the Pauper Showcase challenge with Cryogen Relic Familiars. I'm playing 2 Ephemerate, 2 Flicker. In order to fit these in, I've cut a Snap, playing an Echoing Truth as a bounce spell, cut a Modern Age from 4 to 3, cut the Arcanomancers from 3 to 2 to play 1 Murmuring Mystic in the main deck. In the sideboard, I have 5 Anti-Affinity, with 2 of them being Revoke Existence in case I meet Bogles, 2 Negates for Bogles. We've got Prohibits here because we really want to defeat something like a Boros deck. We also have Inside Out and Last Breath for walls, whereas Last Breath can also be used for fairies and elves. We're about to start the Showcase Challenge in 13 seconds, so let's do it. I'm going to try to pull up the stream chat on my phone, so let's see how this goes. Okay, I think we're here. Okay, I see the people in the chat. Move my crud around. Let's see. It's gonna be so hard to manage. Oh, I have an idea. All right, I'll get the chat going in a second here. But I will try to be involved. Let's keep, I think this is a pretty solid hand with, oops. So we're keeping pretty solid hand on the draw. Modern Age on turn 2 potentially. Opponent looks like they're playing Mono Blue Terror. So we probably want to put the Modern Age on the stack on turn 2. Island go. So I'm trying to set up my other monitor. Okay. Turn 2 for me. Our opponent played an island and passed. We're just going to put the Modern Age on the table, and it likely gets countered. If it doesn't get countered, we can discard the Chancery. And then next turn, we can probably just discard the Modern Age. A Brainstorm and Mental Note. So it is Blue Terror confirmed, getting rid of 2 islands. Mills of Terror. consider. That's a non-standard play. They've already tapped out, so I have the Sunscape Familiar. I can just cast this turn. And we drew an Ash Barrens that we can discard. All right. And you may have seen, hopefully they don't have a Force Spike. They might have Force Spike. They did not. We're going to play the Chancery, pick up the Plains. But I actually am not going to be playing a Lorien Revealed. Instead, I'm playing 21 lands. Cryptic Serpent, Cryptic Serpent. So I guess I Drifter Ephemerate looking for a snap. Play this. We're going to, or play the Plains. We're going to evoke. Draw. Ephemerate. Did not find a snap. I found a foil. I can play the Cryogen Relic, which we can use to tap down a Serpent. That's probably worth it. I'll pass the turn. Ooh, we found the Echoing Truth. That's so good here. Okay, I'll get rid of the Ash Barrens. Consider from the opponent. All right, I gotta go to this live and check out the chat. This Sleep of the Dead on a Familiar. They're going to attack for 12. Okay. I'm fine with not blocking, I think. They have 3 cards in hand. 3 mana. They're going to tap down another thing. So this is actually amazing, because we're going to land the Ephemerate, and then they have to recast both of their creatures. This is insane. I put the Echoing Truth in my deck because I was so tilted, because earlier today I faced I don't know what I want to do because I've got this so much value. I could Echoing Truth the double relic for insane value, but it's probably not necessary. Let's just bounce these. See ya. Evoke the Mole Drifter. So free draw 2 here. Snap the Mole Drifter. Untap. Oh man, that probably felt pretty bad. Sunscape Familiar. So now we can, I guess, too many foils in hand. We have no way to cast them. Probably play the Relic, draw a card. And then Modern Age. I'll get rid of the Deep Analysis for value, although that's not great because we're pretty low on life. And now I can see the chat, so if you want to be in. Yeah, and it's showing up on the screen, so we're good. It's like this over here a little. The discard a card. I'll discard Preordain. Let's put a Mole Drifter on the table. Okay. Can locking them down doesn't do anything right now. I guess I start with, I guess I could just cast another Mole Drifter. Probably fine. Rifterino. Okay, finding the Faithful is good. I'm not going to attack. So let's get rid of Preordain and I guess it's foil. Kind of shows my hand, but that's not great, but it is fine. They have 4 cards in hand. They're going to Lorien. I probably should try to counter that. Pitch the Chancery. They concede. Too much value. 16-2 at the LGS is pretty good. I can try between rounds maybe. So we would like to go into negates. Probably trimming a foil. Maybe just have 1 foil, 2 negates, 1 foils. Could be okay. That Echoing Truth was insane. Yeah, the being able to tap down the Serpents is pretty good. I'm a little bit concerned about the possibility for people like to just show up and stream snipe me, but it is what it is. Am's on top. I'm trying to record this and stream it, and it's a lot at once. I guess I can turn this off. Okay. All right. So we have setup cards. Our opponent is keeping 7, because you always keep 7 if you're on a mono blue cantrip deck. I'm basically a mono blue cantrip deck too. We have a negate. It's going to start jamming cantrips. We got the control bug, so we have to spam click control to get rid of that. Spell Pierce turn 1, probably? No. Okay, so I do like Familiar Snap. Next turn, we play the Chancery, pick this up. We're going to have to discard the hand size, so probably an island. The Thoughts Guard themselves, milling 2 instants and sorceries, Ponder and Mental Note, plays an island. So they could be holding up a counterspell. Let's just pick up the island and discard it. Discard an island. Opponent cycles a Lorien, that's 4 in the graveyard. Snakes cost 2. Now snakes cost 1. So multiple terrors here is like worst case scenario, which is probably what's going to happen. Cryptic Serpent. That's it. I'll go Sunscape Familiar. Play a Preordain. And then we're bottoming these lands. We draw another Mulldrifter. So we're set up to go, depending on what they do. And they might bounce my Familiar. They might cast another Terror. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can try to bounce their... Okay. Second from the top, I guess. Plays a Tolarian Terror. Play the Chancery. Pick this up. Now we can make some mana, snapping their thing on tap. Mulldrifter. Familiar's back. Find Ghostly Flicker. So we can Familiar and then block and flicker and have negate, but a little risky. We're going to go to 9. Plays the Serpent again, 3 cards in hand. Double Serpents. So I think I have to play the Familiar and then block, flicker, and negate. But I'm concerned that that's going to fail and they're just going to die. 3 cards in hand for them. Hopefully they're playing a more Boglesy list where they just don't draw anything good. Block. We're going to flicker, have the negate. They have a counterspell. We have a counterspell. And if they have a counterspell, we concede. Looks like they do. 4 spike. Okay. So trying to think of if I can bring anything in. I'm on the play, so maybe that makes foil better. I think the Murmuring Mystic is really good, but maybe I can cut it. Let's try. How do I think about my counterspell split? Well, I don't want to like multi for 1 myself, and if they just use a Spell Pierce, it's pretty bad. I think that negate is pretty good overall, and it just allows me to have more cards in hand. Here we have a turn 2 Familiar and then Faithful Modern Age, so that's pretty good. Land. We're going to grab a Plains. I guess they scared me with that 4 spike there, so let's see if they ponder turn 1. They're going to hold up the 4 spike. Well, it's Faithful. That's the turn. Yeah. Mono blue ninja 4 spike deck. That sounds like it would probably work pretty well. Brainstorm on their end step, and then, or my end step, then they mill on their turn, plays an island. Now we can play out the Familiar. So if they 4 spike the Modern Age, that's fine, I think. We draw, we'll discard the Preordain. Then I guess we're looking to slam the Mulldrifters, but Pretty bad if they have 4 spike, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the graveyard. 5. Botscars themselves. Milling 4 spike. Island. I'm not... I guess it's like, it's all vibes, right? It's all vibes. We're going to draw and discard. Discarding the Cryogen Relic. Guess I'm going to discard the island, though. We'll play the Mulldrifter. So the issue that we have is that they have double terror, so 10 damage a turn. We're dead in only a couple of attacks. But now I drew a second Faithful, so I can gain a decent amount of life. Have some blocks. I can get a second Mulldrifter on the table. 15 damage. Ugh. Okay. Play the Faithful. Preordain. We go to 14. I can play the Relic. And then crack the Relic. Or I can just opt the Deep Analysis and draw. I don't have to block this turn. Then I have to draw this island. I think I'm going to bottom the island, opt the Deep Analysis, play the Contaminated Landscape, try to draw. That puts me to 16 life. Counterspell. So I can either chump with the Vector Glider now. I probably should, because then I can flashback the Deep Analysis. I have to like find infinite life somehow. This is where it just becomes unbearable. 700 million terrors. It's really not how I wanted to start the match or the event. I think I'm going to block and take 10. They have 4 cards in hand. This puts me to 8 life. I'll try evoking this Mulldrifter. They have a counterspell. Let's ephemerate the Mulldrifter. They have a dispel. Opponent is on some stuff. They have the nuts. Cryogen Relic. Draw a card. We have a flicker. Let's draw. Chancery. Pick up this. Okay, so oddly, I think I shove my Faithfuls in front of their terrors this turn. Block, block. We have a negate. So for 4 mana, I can lock down a terror. And then I can flicker plus negate. I think the first thing I'm going to do is attack, because I am the beatdown. Flicker here. Draw 4 cards, hopefully. Another dispel. You have a negate, and they have another counterspell. Lay off me, bro. Flicker here. Completely insane-o. We'd have to draw a snap and... Okay, okay. More Drifterinos. I don't know if that gets me anywhere. Snap the Mulldrifter. Untap. Familiar. And I have to evoke Mulldrifter into a snap. Draw. Jesus. Okay, we found the snap. Snap the Mulldrifter. Untap. Now what? Cast the Mulldrifter, and I have to block everything. My whole board is gone. Drew Faithful and a familiar. They have a Sleep of the Dead in the graveyard, a Theme Inferior. So that was fast. I hate this deck. Okay. Boo. I like to write boo in chat. It's okay, we can just lose round 1 and then defeat all the other losers. It looks like in 22 cards seen, they saw 4 total islands. That's how you do it, though. This was round 1. I don't know why the score is not showing. Let's see. There you go. 5-land terror. Yes, that's why they ran 700 counterspells. Somebody has to lose. I don't think, I mean, I definitely stood my ground a decent amount. I guess this is a good time to advertise that, yeah, 292 players. Let's see. That means that there are 9 rounds. 292. That's not right. $292. 9 rounds. So you have to 8-1 or you're dead. Unless you're a 7-2 player that somehow has the best breakers. Let's see. Well, so this is the deck that I'm trying to play. I've got 21 lands. I just felt like having more ability to mulligan better is better. That makes sense. And then right now I was playing a league. Might as well play another match in the league while there are 94 matches left. I got destroyed in like 30 seconds. Let's see. Here, does it say how many people are hanging out? 49. Nice, nice. I got hammered. I'm hot though. And we're back. We're going to try to play familiars in between rounds and see if we can actually win some games. These are the hands that you keep getting. So you have to mulligan, and that's why I was like trying to take that down a bit. But we can keep this one and put back a flicker. I think this, okay, they're on red. Murmuring Mystic is pretty good against red decks usually. But we have to kind of like get out ahead of it. And this is not the hand that does that unless we have a snap off the top. Turn 2 Ren's Resolve into Kessig Flame Breather and Lightning Bolt. Chancery go. So we have plans for every turn already, which is like Faithful into Cryogen Relic, turn 4 Mystic. Dang, they had the land for the Flame Breather plus Bolt. blasting me. I would still take a snap. Getting in for 1. I'm already at 13. Faithful Relic. Go back to 14. Can't really block. Friends resolved to 13. Double creature. So now Galvanic was already online. I Gal Blast my creature. So that means the Mystic is more likely to survive, but we're already at 9. It's puts me to 8. Mystic go. We can put the Faithful on top and then flicker the Relic in an island, drawing the Faithful and then hopefully a 1-drop. Got a Rends Resolve to put me to 7. Mountain Rends Resolve. They probably cast the Rends Resolve. They're going to decline. We're going to block, get a creature off the table. And they find Tomb Raider. Creature back on the table. What do you got? I decided to go Rends Resolve to put me to 4. Thermo Alchemist Lava Dart. The Lava Dart's scary. Can't cast it right now. Lyra back to Faithful. Flicker here. Make a bird. Then I'm looking to draw a 1-drop. Or like a foil. Foil would be good. Yeah. Preordain. So now I'm out of range. Oh, we drew the foil, but I can't cast it. I still think it's good. Bottom, top. If I survive this somehow, let's see. I'm at 5. They can put me to 1 already with the Lava Dart. So if they have no bolts, then I'm okay. Otherwise, I'm dead. Plays a land from hand. Or no, from exile. Lava Dart. What's it going to be? 2 free. Bummer. So bring in the Hydros. The Last Breath, because the Last Breath is much better versus them. I don't think the Ephemerates are necessarily good. We're going to bring in Prohibit, go down Ephemerates and 1 Flicker. Echoing Truth is actually solid here. I guess I'm not playing that many snaps. Let's go post. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Current record is 0-1. Not a great start. Current league record is 1-0, and we're on the draw here. What's my favorite pizza toppings? Well, I got really sick, and now I can't eat tomato or cheese. I lost to board out the Relic? Maybe. But it's so good. It's so much value. I guess it doesn't really impact the board, so that's definitely makes sense. Yeah, I can't do dietary histamines, which is a lot of the good food. So, I mean, I used to eat like all meat pizza. That was the best. Land, faithful, no thank you on this guy. We could snap that, but I think I'm just going to get off the board, cast a preordain. They look to be playing the pinger burn, so we want the pingers off the table. Actually, Modern Age is probably not great, but we do want the plains. And then if they play another pinger, we can snap the pinger, cast a Mole Drifter, because we can use it as a ritual. We will be okay. Yeah, I'm okay with not being able to have histamines. It's fine. I'll just live my life. I I end up just eating like meat and vegetables all the time. That's my diet. The paleo diet. No thanks. If I start using subscriber decks. So I was thinking about maybe doing like let's get rid of this thing. Bounce off the table. Untap. Do you mean subscribe to my YouTube and then what are you talking about with the subscriber decks? I don't understand. Can you clarify? No cheese sounds worse than having to play into Spy all day. It can be a problem. It can be a problem. So I was thinking if people do like maybe a higher than normal YouTube membership, then we could do something where we like, let's play the Mystic in attack, where I have like a members suggest video every week, and then I could make that so it's sort of like a deck donation, but it's like a crowd-funded thing. I can have like what's it, mozzarella, but okay, relic, that's good. Thank you for playing relic instead of a lightning bolt. Okay, sure. They're continuing to pass. We have a drifter again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're good. Cast a drifter. Gain some life. Yeah, we had the nuts, and we were on the play, so it matters a lot to be on the play. Just attack you again. You don't have to pay, it's fine. People were having a discussion about whether or not sideboard guides are like something that's useful to have, and just seems like people want it, so why not? Snap. We're not going to get Gal Blasted. You can use another bolt if you want. Or Gal Blast. I guess I have a Pyro. That's fine. I have a bird. We already we're at 27 from that guy. What did they red blast? Oh, the snap? I feel like maybe red blasting the Mystic would have been the correct play. I don't know. Now we're sort of out of action, which stinks. But I'm still going to attack you. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, attack with everything. Suddenly I became the aggro deck. I bet they can shove the Clockwork in front of the Mystic if they want. They're at 10. Boiler and Epicure. I think like one person subscribing to the channels doesn't make a huge difference, but everybody doing it, like many large amounts of people doing that is awesome. Helps me out. I don't know if actually having subscribers is they're not bad. They're just trying to play to the plan that they think is going to win, and it's not going to win. My island, we're going to attack in. This puts them dead to my flyers next turn. I'm going to crack the relic probably. The Galblast face. Okay. Sure. Yeah, if we've the contaminated landscape not looking good. I wish this were a Lorien revealed right now, that's for sure. It's really hard to balance things. Bro, uncool. So they have to take out a Mole Drifter. Or they lose. We're still going to put them to 1. They can't attack. They can attack, apparently. So the Mystic, we ended up drawing a Drifter. So I think if I draw a Hydroblast, I win. Play the Mole Drifter. Thanks, man. Oh, I want to Last Breath this thing, but it doesn't make me win. It's Deep Analysis. Hi, Daniel. Hello, Brazilians. Let's go Landscape. Island. Attack with the Flyers. I just don't want to give them the value from the Percussionist. I mean, if you're going to be mean and spam, then I'll just kick you. So it's your choice. How do I do that? We timed him out for a day. Timed them out for a day. I guess sometimes you need mods. I don't know how that works. I'm not really super well versed on how streaming works. There's got to be a way to go delete ban user, right? Don't do it. Okay, we have a pretty solid hand here. Turn 1, Tomb Raider. Should I just blast it? I think so. Damn. Plays a Relic. Don't do it, Frank. Lay off me, bro. Okay. How do I, let's see. I don't need another familiar. Don't need a plains. Okay, our opponent plays a synthesizer. What are they? I don't know. I don't know what happened. They played a mountain. Okay. Familiar. They cracked the Relic. Unity moderation. Okay. Play the Relic. They pyroblasted it, and then they played a percussionist. I'll block. They didn't do anything. Fair enough. Oh no, they killed it. That's cool. Also fine. familiar relic? You have another pyro? Okay, that's getting annoying. They pretended that they had another pyro. We now have a hydroblast. How do I like make someone else a moderator? Congrats, Doug, you're a moderator. Lightning bolt. Sure, I will counter, I guess. Okay, they're very serious about the countering. I've never heard one of, yeah, I mean, Stonehorn can be good. I don't have any idea what's going on here. Thanks, Caesar. Appreciate it. Opponent has revealed a galvanic blast off of their samurai. So I just need to draw a spell. Flicker is pretty good. Let's flicker here. That draws me 2 cards. I don't even know if Doug knows that they're on board. Let's draw. I would make GN snap this. Untap. Let's play another Mole Drifter. Okay, here we go. Play Cryogenic Relic. Echoing Truth, the Cryogenic Relics draw another 2 cards. Thanks, man. And we'll discard Ash Barrens and Plains. Yeah. When it says Echoing Truth, the Cryogen is pretty cool. They just continue blowing up all my stuff. I'm finally at 17. We'll go Faithful, play a Relic. I don't know if I should be calling it Relic or Cryogen. You can snap this Samurai, get it off the table. Untap. Play another Cryogen Relic. Draw a card. Make some life. Draw a card. Make some life. Mole Drifter. Well, Modern Age. Discard the Chancery. I just feel super duper ahead. Yeah, they're playing the control deck life for now. Let's see. They killed their own creature with a lava dart, finding a great furnace. Plays it, 1 card in hand. Yeah. GG. Okay, let's see where we are on the showcase. We've got 41 minutes in, so probably not time for another one. The Relic is sweet. It's very, very cool. The list I decided to play today, I swapped the One of Lorien for another land, a contaminated landscape here. Mostly because I really hate not being able to keep an opening hand, and it just keeps happening. There's no way that this Cryogen gets banned. It is going to be pretty much everywhere. I actually faced a Boros synth that was Jeskai for the Cryogen. It's nutty. I think that in Pauper, whatever is the best card draw is what just warps the meta around it. That people just play the best card draw. That's just what it comes down to. I don't think it's going to get banned. There doesn't seem to be anything right now that should get banned. I thought for a second you were talking about the ban discussion channel in the Familiars Discord. Icar Wellspring coming? Well, They were talking about banning Ichor Wellspring specifically because of, oh, should we ban Dispute or ban the enabler of Ichor Wellspring? Like if you had Ichor Wellspring and Cryogen and Dispute right now, it'd be pretty simple to play a blue-black something deck. It's pretty crazy that this is the first week of the format. We have this big event. So Inside Out is specifically for walls because they have 0 power and 4 toughness or whatever. And it is a, it also helps in the mirror, and it destroys their creature while drawing you a card, which is pretty important because you really just need every advantage you can get. You could play Last Breath instead, but Last Breath doesn't draw a card. So I was kind of hedging. I was trying to play against the main things that I was expecting in the format. And I thought that the Murmuring Mystic here would be better than the third Archaeomancer, and I could like play it that way because of the ephemerate. We did win one of those games against them, against the Terror deck, and then they just went Terror, 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 700 counter spells, which is how we'd lose to it. Oh, yeah, Inside Out. It's part of the Inside Out combo deck because it keeps that power and toughness. It switches the power and toughness, but it keeps a card in your hand so you have more cards to discard to your Tireless Tribe. Looks like 8 matches still in progress. Pauper decks, the cool thing about Pauper is that you have to like use really weird ways to get things done and put it all into a powerful combination. See, even Carves is 0/1. Inside Out kills walls. So because they have 0 power, they become 0 toughness and they die, but I also get to draw a card. And it only costs me 1 mana because it's blue when I have a familiar in play. Relic is good because it draws a card when it leaves the battlefield instead of when it goes to the graveyard, which means that you can... It's not working. Let me get up the preview window. So you can flicker it or you can pick it up. If you play... So essentially, like, if you play a Glinhawk, your Glinhawk is a Mole Drifter that costs you 1 blue-white. So for 1 blue-white, you just drew 2 cards, and you have a 2/2 flyer. But in Familiars, if you have 2 Cryogens in play and you have a Ghostly Flicker, you can draw 4 cards at instant speed. So because it's an extra Mole Drifter-y type effect, we're going up on Ghostly Flickers. I miss Mystic Sanctuary. That bomb was good. 100%. 60% of the time it works every time. Five matches left. Yeah, I mean, so the problem with Seagate Oracle is so it would be very synergistic, but you have a really hard time defeating flyers. I'm not confident on Echoing Truth over Snap either, but I always make last minute decisions and I can't stop myself from doing that. We got to see a moment where we used the Echoing Truth to clear 2 Cryptic Servants, and that was pretty sweet. I also Echoing Truth 2 Relics to draw 2 cards. So there's definitely a couple of things. I was playing earlier this morning and I lost to Pestilence, and that was not fun, so I felt like I wanted to have a bounce spell in my main deck. Just a little bit more tech. Mystic Sanctuary was busted. Not so busto. It was really awesome when you had Mystic Sanctuary and Arkham's Astrolabe because you got to just go absolutely insane, winning on turn 4. So the other like version. Yeah, agreed. Lily Pal is fun, but it loses to stuff. This is what I was working on this morning, trying to play High Tide with Cryogen Relic and Muldrifter, but it didn't come together in time. Maybe this doesn't even have to be here and you could just play more counter spells. Lily Pal is pretty sweet. Yeah. Well, a funny thing is someone told me that if your opponent is on High Tide and you're playing familiars, you can use their High Tide to go infinite. And I was playing against a High Tide player. I had Archaeomancer in play and Flicker, and they started casting High Tides, and then I just made infinite mana and I drew my deck, and then I counter-spelled them into the ground, which was awesome. That's the only time that's ever happened. Oh, okay. Yep, let's see. I'll move this to a different spot then. Yeah, the Jeskai synth deck is pretty cool. Let me see if I can pull it up. There's a Boros synthesizer. This guy ephemerate. Are they playing it? No. So today's the first. I think it was Edo01 that, let's see. Yeah, so here's the Jeskai synthesizer. They've got 4 Glinthawk, 4 Skyfisher, and then they have 4 Cryogen Relic, and 4... This one's not even playing synthesizer? What? Okay, so they're just relying on Cryogen Relic, not even synthesizer anymore. That's surprising. But I guess it makes sense. It's just so insane when you add all those cards together. I did not expect that. Maybe they valued the Lembas specifically for the burn decks. Yeah. You can't play counter spells and synthesizer, that's for sure. So let's see. It's over here a little bit. I'm not the most experienced person at streaming stuff, so if something weird happens, just let me know. Move this down. There's really no good spot for the preview window with the chat up. Oh well. Just have to turn on. Go here. I will undisable the hover zoom. Okay. There we go. Now you can see the cards. That makes sense. Peyton, are you local Peyton? How often do you make lives? Do you mean in this specific deck, or how often do I go infinite for infinite life? Okay, we're back. We're here. Okay, I have no idea what they're playing, but they know what I'm playing, I guess. Round 2 versus Teamer for Life. Probably playing mono blue, I'd imagine. So this is turn 2 familiar, then Relic, which I like, I think. I'm going to turn off the hover zoom this again. Back over here. Land, go. It might also be on Tron. Demir Terror. We'll play the planes. I mean, if they have the snuff out, they have the snuff out, I guess. Familiar. They play a cryogen, so it's nothing that I expected. But they still have the snuff out. Why? Every time. Okay. I will play a divination. Draw 2. You're a foil. I guess that's pretty good. Alien Aquifer. I'll play a Cryogen Relic, which plays around Spell Pierce here. What the hell? Jur? That just feels uncool. I can counterspell it and then play another relic. I'm going to counterspell it. Feels like this is like a control deck. Oh, there's the Echoing Truth going to come up. But if they play a relic, then the Echoing Truth gives them cards. Want to deep analysis themselves. I'm about to... Should I Echoing Truth these to draw 2, or should I cast a Mold Drifter? I think I should cast a Mold Drifter. Be on the table. Yeah, it's just a lot of value here in this Cryogen Relic. The only limited I've played recently was the Pack Wars. One plays a Modern Age. I think they are playing like Sneaky Snacker stuff, which means that they're going to be playing whatever the card is that sacrifices a creature to discard. Hopefully that card's still bugged. They discard a Brainstorm. Plays a Swamp. I'll start by attacking. Put you to 14. I don't think Perilous Research is going to be good in Familiars, but it could be good in other decks. Well, I will Echoing Truth my Cryogen Relics then. Spellstutter Sprite. You have a Dispel. Another Abjure. This is really frustrating. I guess that's what they're here for. I will grab an island. So it's Counterspell, Spellstutter deck. I guess if they've got, they're going to 11 off of Deep Analysis, 7 cards in hand. I can draw 2 cards here. Hopefully they, okay, it looks like they have an Angler, which I can lock down with the Relic. They decide to attack with the Spellstutter. They get rid of all my cards in my graveyard. Find a Murmuring Mystic. Cast Murmuring Mystic, I suppose. You have another Abjure. Play Island. I'll put you to 9. Greetings. Okay, so they snuff out the Mystic, going to 5 life. Yeah, except, so the artifact hate thing, that is kind of true and kind of not true. I played a person that saw Relics and Modern Ages and then just brought in a Nulls. Discarding Sneaky Snacker. They can play another Modern Age and get the Snacker back. On my sideboard, I have negates, which would be pretty good. Potentially the last breath. I'm not sure if that's that good. We can trim on a bit of the faithfuls. They're going to go to 1 life. They're very confident. What if I have a gut shot? Go to 13. Let's lock this thing down. Draw a card. Through a foil. So I guess at any moment I could have done that. Play faithful. Draw another card. Lock this thing down more. I think we just ran out of action. When it loots, discarding Aqueduct. Secret Lightning Bolt. Yeah, stun counter stack. So in Poison Storm, they're really good because you can keep proliferating them. Discard's a cast down. They sort of had everything, every single answer, and that was mostly due to the Abjures, I guess, as plus the Spellsetter Sprite. Maybe they're playing 4 Sprite, 4 Abjure, 4 Counterspell. I need it. So I have a Flicker. I can Ghostly Flicker here. Gain some life. Play Archaeomancer. Whoa, a counterspell. I will counterspell. Can't spellstutter this one. They have another counterspell, I'll just be sad and die. Gonna be a short stream over here with the Abjures. Lay off. Jeez. So prohibit, negate, negate, last breath. We're going to attempt to cut the faithfuls entirely. And or 6. Maybe just a foil. This is going to be the shortest stream ever. Someone pointed out in a video that I could have done that. I probably should have cracked the relics earlier to see if I could find an island for foil. Do I think it's complicated to make infinite life while playing? I don't think so. Okay. We're going to keep because this is Drifter Ephemerate. And we have a foil backup. But the freaking Abjures are ridiculous. I thought I had a solid deck and I just run into insane stuff over here. Landscape. I'll cycle for a plains. See if I can find, okay, I found Preordain. I think I'm just bottoming these lands. Land pass. Oh, make a live while playing? Yeah, it's complicated. This is complicated for sure. So live stream while I'm playing? Yeah. This has been hard. And then if Sneaky Snacker available, right? So they can abjure off the Modern Age. They also have Snuff Outs in their deck for a free removal spell for the Ephemerate. So I'm looking to probably try to play the Archaeomancer to get back to Preordain. They have Counterspell up as well. Archaeomancer. I'd have to use Counterspell or Abjure. They're going to use the Abjure. Brainstorm instead. Bring back the Sneaky Snacker. Our Preordain comes back to hand. Vector Glider. Plays a Modern Age. This is my moment here. They have another island. Guess it's not my moment. We have a Familiar. Play the Familiar. I'll try a Preordain. I guess what I'm looking for is probably a Chancery. Snuff out. I'll try to... Guess I have to let that resolve. We'll snap this. Then ephemerate. You have another snuff out, you got it. God. Well, bro. Well, that was dirty. I can't give up, I guess. I have to just wait, and then they can discard the snacker. Discards a swamp. I can't believe how many counterspells that they can fit in one deck, you know? Wall Drifter resolves somehow. Somehow it resolves. They have another Vector Glider. Attacks for 4. There's a land. Wall Drifter. Did I cut? I think I cut all of my Faithfuls. Have another island. I'm gonna have to double block a Vector Glider probably. Walk. We'll take 2. 9. Now they are going to cast nothing. We'll try a Modern Age. Counterspell. Modern Age is going to resolve. Discard the island. Play the Archaeomancer. Turning the foil. No attacks. Can I survive this? They're going to put me to 5. Three cards in their hand. We have a Last Breath now. Discard Sunscape Familiar. Exile your Sneaky Snacker. Chancery. Pick up the island. I suppose I can attack. I mean, yeah, they do have a lot of blue permanents. Maybe I should be on Abjure. Because I've got the Modern Age, I've got this Wall Drifter. I don't know. Maybe Abjure would just be better. They get in for 2. We'll go to 3 life. They have 4 cards in hand. They haven't been playing lands. We flip our Modern Age. And now we're at a stalemate again. We'll pick up the plains. So it's a top deck war now. And I'm worn out. I will try to counter. Good Dispel. No blocks. Got a 1. Deep Analysis. They counterspell this, we're dead. We're dead anyway. I mean, I tried, I guess, but we didn't get there. That was rough. Well, I'm not sure that I want to keep playing my event after an O2. We got really manhandled there. But maybe those were the right decks to play. Maybe I should. I don't think I would have beaten either of those playing High Tide either. Wow, that was bad. Right now I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I will just play another league match here. Calm down, and then maybe call it a day. Hate not having all the Pauper cards yet. I feel it. Well, the nice thing is, if I bail on the event, which I'll play one more match, we're just gonna drop from the event. See ya. I'll try to play some LCQs. Now I can go outside this afternoon. I think it's hard to solve these things, but that Demir Abjure deck was nutso. Let's play High Tide. Heath, that was some BS. Complete BS. GG's. I have enjoyed playing playing in that style previously. It's been pretty fun. I shouldn't have conceded. I think it was pretty clear that I was dead. I was at 1 life. I only had 1 blocker. Opponent is, let's see if they're playing Spy. Shambling Ghast. So this is probably mono black sack. I'll play the Cryogen Relic and draw a card. Oh. I think that was still this game. The previous game? Wasn't that this game? So we have like a really solid start here. Village Rites on the Shambling Guest. Mono black sacrifice. That means maybe they're playing the new discard spell. Yeah, if you play Mystic, you probably can play Abjure. Maybe that's my next thing to try. Just go gnarly on Abjures. I guess having one mana counter anything is pretty good. Plus draw a card, yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like it would get stuck in my hand though. I wonder if we have to like refactor the deck. Maybe at that point you do play the energy package with the Jolted Awake and all that nonsense, because you could just Jolted Awake, Abjure again. But then later on, I guess if you have the Mystic going, then you can keep abjuring stuff. So our opponent has Shambling Gas, Nested Shambler. That can go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so no blocks, I guess. Preordain. Gain 2 life. Anything good? More relics. Should I keep all the relics? Sure. Draw a card. And then I think I play the plains, because then I can block, sacrifice a bunch of stuff, then I just ephemerate. Vlad, we got dumpstered by Demir Snacker playing 4 Spell Stutter Sprite, 4 Counterspell, and 4 Abjure. So I didn't ever have a chance, I felt. But maybe there weren't 4 Counterspell. It felt like it. They countered every single thing that I had that drew cards, and then they beat me down. A supernatural wow, I can't say it. They used supernatural stamina on the Shambler. That means that is a 3/1, and they can make this even bigger. But we're still going to block and ephemerate, I think. Carrion Feeder is going to get big. Did you beat all then? Round 2? Familiars is fun. People convince me that I'm good at playing Familiars, so I should play it. I don't know if that ended up working out. Looks like they do have the... Okay, it's Carrion Feeder this time. We will block and block. Nicely done. High Tide is fun. Maybe that would be better to stream, I don't know. We're gonna yield to the Carrion Feeder. Oh, I can't, because I'm on the... There we go. They make it a 4/4. It felt like there were infinite counters, like nothing mattered. Heath, would you say that you had good draws, or your deck just destroyed mine? I feel like I think Familiars is already sort of weak to a Snuff Out deck, and a Snuff Out plus what felt like a Force of Will deck was really tough. Maybe Abjure is just a better way. I think people are talking me into that now. I'm definitely getting talked into that. What if Abjure is making Seagate Oracle better? I don't know. All right, I hope you have draws like that for the rest of the showcase, but I am not going to give you any help on your breakers. The old 0% game win rate. Actually, I won 1 game. I have a, if you'll notice, like I tend to do a lot better near the end of the season, end of the release period, I guess, between set releases, because after all that time, I've sort of felt out all the tests of the lists and stuff and figured out what I think is better. And I think creating a deck that works in a very short amount of time is just very tough. We're going to start by flickering these and drawing 4 cards. Found a familiar. So now I'm gonna just 4 damage. I think it's fine to play another relic. Go to 28. Okay. So next turn I have Sunscape Familiar plus Snap. They can sacrifice their big creature, so it's kind of like a removal spell. Jolted Awake is just bad though because it can only get 2 drops back by itself. So you'd have to like really maximize your 2 drops. But if you were playing Abjure for Relic for Modern Age, then I could see that being useful. They have a Peregrine Beckoner, making their Shambling Ghast a 3/1. So now I can't really block the Shambling Ghast because then they can sacrifice it to make this in 0/3 or -1/3, and then it will die. So we'll just block the squirrels, take 4, 5, 8. Oh really? I thought it was permanent. Abjure. You mean Jolted Awake? Can't get enchantments? Well, I saw someone playing Philology, but the problem with Augur is that I can't find lands. So Jolted Awake, artifact or creature? Oh, that's not that good. But maybe there's some way to get a permanent back. Opponent is doing things. Wait, do they have the combo? No. Do they? They supernatural stamina onto their creature that makes things bigger. So how much damage? Many amounts? Very large amounts of damage? Let's block. So their thing warps away. Play out the familiar. I think I have to play the Ash Barrens, but I guess it depends on whether or not they respond to this. Snap your creature. Okay, that resolves. Nice. Now I can evoke the Mole Drifter. Yeah, I guess you should run artifact lands. You can get back the land. Ephemerate the Drifter. We found a foil. So now I'm just taking over, I think. Maybe not. We have Flicker. I can pass the turn. Lock this down if I want to. I think I'm just going to block here and then Flicker to draw 4 cards and have the foil available. So do people prefer having live streams specifically, or just the pre-made videos? Plays the Carrion Feeder again. Both are good. That's cool. They're getting in, so we will block, 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 block here. Not that one. The big one. Well, what's nice about the live stream on YouTube is it does get stored to the YouTube channel and you can go check it out later. And if it's like a video that I'm recording, then I can do that as well at the same, like Corrupted Conviction. It's gonna cycle. Grab an island. And then pitch cast. I'll discard the land. I'm happy to be playing some FAMs. It's a pretty sweet deck. Drawing 4 cards randomly is awesome. Here we go. 4 more cards. Ah. We drew another foil. I can't cast it right now. I did draw Echoing Truth to bounce 3 relics, draw 3 cards. What just happened? Ghoul Caller's Chant to return double Shambling Ghast. Okay, they're out of cards in hand. We haven't found a way to win the game, but we're definitely not losing. I'm really used to just not saying anything while no action's happening, because that way it doesn't mess up the actual video. So that's why I keep pausing and being really silent. So if you feel like there's space that needs to be filled, let me know if you have other questions. 3 of Jur. Card was so mean. Okay, finally we get to ephemerate or Mold Drifter. Welcome. We didn't do super hot in the showcase, so I'm probably going to be quitting after this match. But we can play some a sweet match right now. Faithful, let's go. Chancery is going to pick up the planes. What do I want to do? Let's try snapping this thing. The spy deck is quite good. Maybe not so good now, I guess, with all the counter spells that are around. They decided to kill their creature. That's fine. Let's truth the relics. Draw 3 cards. I guess this puts me to way too many cards in hand. Now I'm at 13 cards in hand. Whoops. Okay, Modern Age. That's too many. It's too many cards. I did try the Flickertron deck that played the relic, but I just am not super good with Tron and I got wrecked. We'll discard the land and then pass. We're going to discard, let's see, cards we want to keep. These cards and this card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. No attacks? Oh no, we want to keep this. Darn. So we need, I even need the foil right now. It's like an emergency button. So get rid of this one, this one, this one. 1 relic. Yeah. Tron's just hard to play. And I don't know how to organize it in a way that makes sense. They're going to draw 2 cards or not draw 2 cards. Not draw 2 cards. Do we have any creatures in the graveyard? We do not. So I can put the Mold Drifter in front of a creature and then pick it up with the Mortuary Mire. Walk. They sacrifice a creature to kill the Mold Drifter. We got a 25. Draw. I'll discard a relic. Discard Deep Analysis. Play Murmuring Mystic. Mortuary Mire, return the Mole Drifter. And then we'll Drifter and Snap. And they scoop. Okay. Phew. Guess Prohibit is maybe better than Foil. We'll just go with that. Oops, I keep pausing. Hello, Milagros. Inside Out is for Wall's Spy. That's Mulligan. Because it kills their creature dead, and it draws me a card. I'm going down. We'll keep this. So, get rid of Barons. Get rid of Prohib. Oh. Alright. I always feel like Familiars just doesn't start the game fast enough. So that's why I was trying to play Foil, but it's also like, it's tough to decide how to build the deck. But it's fun. I had double 5-0 with my previous list, and then I also did not face those specific decks in the 5-0s. Maybe the league meta is different. Beginning with a Nested Shambler. Can I win on a mold 3? Was it 3? 4. A Corrupted Conviction. They've got a Carrion Feeder in play. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Island. Basically a mold of 5. If anybody has connections at like Monster Energy or something, hook me up. Get a sponsorship. I tried to contact them previously, but they wouldn't do it. Is Peregrine Beckoner the sacrifice creature we saw previously? Faithful. I think it is, right? I bet that there's a way to abuse that somehow. Like if you can sacrifice a creature for mana. We'll get rid of the Modern Age. Yeah. This one. That Carrion Feeder is going to get gigantic. We will block the Nested Shambler. But they can sacrifice it and then make this like a 5 something. Yeah. Monster Energy mostly sponsors like League of Legends players, I think. Not poor Pauper players. That's true. There's got to be a lands deck somewhere, right? They're going all in on this Carrion Feeder here. I don't know if that's necessary. Does that mean that they have the right of consumption in hand and they're going to be able to fling it? We go to 10. Ugh, poor opponent. I'll discard this Island. A Faithful. Would you like to get rid of your creature that you dumped all that mana into? Just sacrifice it dead? Yeah, you have to have 2 in play. Can you Supernatural Stamina 1 and then have it like bounce itself? You can't do that, right? So drawing 2 of it is hard. A Dollar General sponsorship. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, they didn't care. They just got it all back. We're at 12. Double Faithful in play. I've got a 2/3. Can I mold to 4 and take the victory? We're looking for card advantage. Relic and Familiar. So I will Op top, play the familiar, and then preordain, put the relic on top, and then see what else is we're up to. If I can find a flicker, then we'll go nuts. Okay, Mold Drifter, relic. We'll put the Mold Drifter on top. Pass. This is mostly because the Mold Drifter can't get duressed, whereas the relic could, but I guess maybe the Mold Drifter is higher value, so if I get hit by a duress, it's fine. Well, either way, I can draw 2 cards. Mold Drifter draws 2 cards for 4 mana. The other one draws 2 cards right now for 3 mana, but doesn't leave a body. They play another Nested Shambler. They're going back into the Supernatural Stamina Zone. They're getting in. I will continue not blocking. Basically, the Faithfuls are a removal spell for this deck. We don't have to play Lightning Bolt. We don't have to play Flame Slash. We just blank the opponent with our life gain. People are popping in and out. Okay, we're at 15. I'll start with the Mold Drifter. Get a creature on the table. Okay, we'll play the Ash Barrens. Just to put a land in play, and then next turn I can play the Relic and then flicker Relic Drifter. I can block the Carrion Feeder and then flicker Relic Drifter. They've got the Beckoner again, so they can make the Carrion Feeder ginormous yet again. Can block the Shambler. Maybe I block the Carrion Feeder with the Vector Glider here just to soak up some damage. Block, block. Familiars has extremely high top end power, but it just starts really slow, and then some of these decks that can start really fast kind of beat you up. The best deck in my heart. Definitely the best deck in my heart. I do really enjoy streaming, so if there were time for me to do it more, I would definitely do it more. It's super fun. What do we got? One, ready. Creature goes away. Okay, so now I can Chancery back the Ash Barrens and use that mana to flicker. I will just flicker right now. Draw 4 cards. That was really insane when I went to 13 cards in hand. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We found Ephemerate. I'll Ephemerate the Mold Drifter. I don't think they're playing Snuff Out. Preordain. 23 life. We find Echoing Truth and a Relic. I think I will top, play the land, pass the turn, and then, like, after they sacrifice a bunch of stuff to their Carrion Feeder, I'm just going to Echoing Truth it so that they have to sacrifice it. I think that the Relic is very good for Familiars in that it allows you to just have way more ability to have card advantage in your deck, and it's cheap. So a lot of times is like a total of 4 mana for drawing cards, but sometimes it can be way more than that. Control. So as long as you have like an easy win condition, then it's not too bad. And I think you could play Familiars with the Murmuring Mystic and just be like, okay, now I have infinite birds. Pass the turn. I'm right, the Mold Drifter. Playing no win con versions of Familiars is a lot harder because you just like run out of time. You're just staring at the clock the whole time. Okay, so Familiar, they scoop. Alrighty. Here, I'll be right back. I might have to, and I might be able to do one more match. I'll take 1 second. I used to have a be right back thing. Let's see. Sweet. We got it. We are back. Easy. I can play like 1 or 2 matches if they're fast. I feel like Familiar is actually harder to play on in paper than on Magic Online. There's just so many things to move around. You don't have to click the triggers, but you do have to write all the life gain changes down. Yeah, we're not keeping that recording. When Mono Red Madness first came out, I got somebody let me borrow it, a local player. Their handle's Slow-Mo. They let me borrow it. Every single match, I was done with like 40 minutes left on clock. Now I'm at the, I was at the FNM like, what do I do now? Familiars usually goes to 3 minutes left on clock. I had like 30, 40 minutes to just sit around, going for walks, checking out the other tables. Forgot what it's like to have time. I'm like 99% Pauper, yeah. Sometimes I will play Modern or Legacy sometimes. Okay. We are on the play versus Kiki Gigi. Keep. So the problem with this hand is no white sources. The Ephemerate and the Deep Analysis were far from casting. Faithful I can't play, but I have my turn 2 Relic, which draws me 2 cards, so I like that. Opponent on bridge. Let's see if they're playing Wildfire. We play our Relic out. Finding a Flicker. Okay, I can draw another 2 cards this turn. That's nice. Appears to be Affinity. I will pass the turn. Maybe I should have just flickered there. I could have drawn a Preordain. Pre-Modern. I'm gonna flicker. If I draw a Preordain, I'm gonna be kind of sad about that, but it's a learning experience. Draw 2. We find the Preordain. No. Okay, Preordain. Looking for the white source. I mean, I could keep the foil and the Mystic, but I think I need to find a white source. On a foil anyway. We'll play land. Pass the turn. We can foil pitching the Faithful, maybe? Or maybe the Ephemerate. Could also be a Familiar here. We don't really need the cost reduction at the moment. Vault of Whispers. Something for 4 mana. Sure, I'll just counter. Discard. Discard. And we'll draw a card. There we go. So we drew lanes. I think I'm going to go Faithful. Recoup some of this life. Draw 2. We do have to find the Mystic again now. Preordain. We know it's not a Wildfire deck, which is good. Who's spamming? I don't want the planes. I guess the Modern Age is okay. Doug's been out here modding for me, so I appreciate that. +1 internet points. Another Pact Altair. Well, I have the blocker now. We have a Murmuring Mystic. I think I just go Familiar, Preordain. Faithful and a Snap. So, I don't think I want the Faithful. Top the Snap. Chancery. Pick this up. Bounce the Pact Altair. Untap. Play a Modern Age. Discard. Play out the Murmuring Mystic. So they could have a cast down for it, which would stink. It's just a hard balance to get all these things right. Okay, they can Crow Clan Shaman Toxin. They're going to have to sacrifice their lands. Hopefully they don't have the Toxin. So if they do have the Toxin, it's a problem. Okay, so they can sacrifice the Clue specifically and then not lose anything. We've drawn 10 more cards than them. Podcast to recoup. And Refurbish Familiar. Okay. I'm going to keep the ephemerate and try to have a Moldrifter come up. Draw a foil. Okay. We'll discard the Familiar. Play a Modern Age. I'll discard the Chancery. They probably wouldn't have played the Crow Clan Shaman out if they didn't have the Toxin. But if they're playing Pact Altair, it makes me think their deck isn't quite as good as a normal Grixis deck. I'm gonna counter. No, thank you. Get out of here. Gotta find a Moldrifter. No, they had another one. Is this the 80 card version? Okay. Easy reverse familiar, I guess. Hey, we drew a Deep Analysis. We can claw back into the game. I'll discard the Faithful. Draw 2. Draw 2. Chancery. This up. Okay, I'm alive. Not quite dead yet. Thanks. Yeah, Cryogen is pretty sweet. They have a Galvanic Blast. So in their hand, they have Pact Altair. I'm going to flip another Modern Age. I can Archaeomancer for the ephemerate for the foil. I still have the foil pitch cast. The Eviscer is inside the Cryogen Relic, drawing 3 cards. 6 cards in hand. So, you know, post board I have Dust to Dust and stuff. It's very difficult for familiars to beat Affinity without the Murmuring Mystic. Plays a Blood Fountain. We have Mortuary Mire. Let's play Archaeomancer. Get back the Ephemerate. Guess I'm gonna have a Moldrifter in there? No. I'll bounce the Archaeomancer. Mortuary Mire. Return Murmuring Mystic. They've used 2 Galvanics. Right now I have 8 mana on the table. I'll have 9 next turn. Plays another Crow Clan Shaman. Declines to attack. Play the Murmuring Mystic. So I'm not sure if I should play the island or not. I think I'm going to hold my lands in hand because they can sacrifice their refurbs and get them back. Spends 5 mana. So now they're flashing back into Emissary's Insight. Okay. I don't know. I don't think it's 80 card. I think it's 60 cards. Because they would be, they haven't put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 60 cards. Have a good one. But they're also destroying me. They might not have a toxin. That would be our saving grace here. They sacrifice a bunch of stuff, then I ephemerate the Mystic. But I think they know I have the ephemerate, so they're probably just going to play around it. Mysterious Insight, drawing another 1,000,000 cards. I guess that the Cryogen is just a straight swap here for them over the Wellspring. Yeah, for some reason, Luffy has been playing 80 cards, and they managed like 2 or 3 trophies with it. I don't understand. Okay, there's a refurb. We'll discard a land. My turn. Play the Archaeomancer. I can Ghostly Flicker. Go just take the Preordain. Preordain. Make a bird. I don't want these. I need card draw stuff. Another Mancer. This is close. Like, we can get back the Flicker. Yeah. You'd have to buy a 100 sleeve set because you still have to have 95 cards in your deck box, so you have the sideboard. Here comes another banger card. Affinity gets all the good cards. Maybe they should just get rid of the bridges already. They still have the Viscers inside the graveyard. Sacks the Cryogen. Sack. I guess if I'd played the island, I could ephemerate for Flicker. Interesting. I'll ephemerate the Archaeomancer. They're going to use a removal spell on Archaeomancer. So I think this turn I want to go Mancer for Ephemerate for Flicker, and then Flicker back the other Mancer. Maybe they're not even, they just have another Krark. Is that the third one? Or one? Okay. Yeah, everything's an artifact so that you can play better artifact stuff in Commander, I believe. So they're sacrificing everything, drawing more cards. I almost want to concede and go to the next game so that I can just destroy them with my Dust to Dusts. But it's not over, so I can't. We do have 4 power on the table. The Archaeomancer. Get back the Ephemerate. Ephemerate. Get back Flicker. And then we will put the Archaeomancer on top. Maybe it should be... I think it's still the Archaeomancer. Then we can start locking them out. Back for 4. I think he just does it because there's more good cards, and he basically just kept the ratios all the same, I believe. So they're going to now get back 2 cards. I don't know what. Probably going to be Refurb and a Parkland Shaman. Okay, they have Visitor's Insight, sacrificing a land. Interesting. I think Luffy is just so good at Affinity, he just can do things for the memes too. That makes sense. Got an Ichor Wellspring, so they are playing Cryogen and Wellspring. I'm sorry for everybody that showed up thinking I was still playing the showcase. They have a final Spellbomb now. Okay. It's really annoying. So, what's my plan? We're going to Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Get back the Ephemerate. Crack the Spellbomb. Then we can go see Flicker here. There's nothing to get back though. I'm gonna go see Flicker, the Vector Glider, and the Archaeomancer. Trying to use the right amount of mana. Flicker here. Which returns the Ephemerate. We just discard this extra land. And then we just Ephemerate. Get back the Flicker. Graveyard gets gone. Draw a Relic. Discard the Island. Play the Cryogen Relic. Draw a card. Then we'll Flicker the Relic. Draw 2 cards. Back Flicker. Play Chancery. Pick up Island. Swing 2. So I have to spend 4 mana and 4 artifacts to take all my creatures off the table, which kills my Ephemerates. Right now, only YouTube. I don't have... I guess maybe I could try to dual stream. I don't know if they lost yet, but we're still at a point where we haven't super lost, and they are not at a point where they've won. They play a Pact Altair. They can take out the Archaeomancer. Plays a land. We go to 10 life. Wellspring. We go to 9 life. And then they're going to kill the Archaeomancer. I got a lot of stuff exiled. We lose a bird. Or anything coming up. First, I'm going to snap this. Untap. Archaeomancer. Get the ephemerate. Ephemerate. Get the snap. Let's flicker here. Draw 2. Need to find, okay, familiar is good. Play land. Gonna attack for 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not good. Let's bounce the vector glider. Then flicker, draw cards. I almost have infinite snaps, but I don't. I'll snap the bird. Tap. Oh wait. I'm trying to think if I should. I'll just flicker here. Draw the flicker. Mole drifter. Ephemerate. Turn the snap. I need life. Drifter. We're at 9. We're at 9 life. We gotta power it up. Snap the drifter. Untap. Okay. Let's flicker here. Get back the snap. Evoke the drifter. Might be able to find infinite life somewhere. There's the faithful. Snap the Archaeomancer. Untap. Play faithful. Can Mancer. Yield. Get the snap. Snap the faithful again. So if I had a second Mancer here, this would be infinite life because I could snap the faithful over and over. Play a faithful. Play a preordain. Cryogen, modern age. I'm going to bottom both of these. Looking for a familiar. Let's just play flicker here. Just to gain some life. Then play a modern age. So we're tapped out. Discard an Ash Barrens. We'll discard an island. Here's the Pact Altair again. They're not trying to kill me this turn, I guess. On my upkeep, I can flicker and put the Mancer back on top. Okay, we go to 12 off the Pact Altair. Terror. This seems like a game where I'm going to have to just deck them naturally. Although I don't, let's see. 1, 2, 3, all my foils are gone. My Echoing Truth is gone. So all I have to do is make like 200 life and then pass the turn and then let them deck. How can you find this specific list? I can put this on Moxfield and then let's see. Gonna go put it on. All right, now it's on my Moxfield. So Kalikaiz on Moxfield. All right, they have the spell bomb, so I think just dead. That's fine. Wish they would have played a little faster. Okay. We have the hate. Hate cards coming in. Other cards coming out. We don't need Murmuring Mystic to close. I think that the foil, let's see. Echoing Truth, don't really need. Let's go 2 Hydroblasts, 2 foils. Maybe 3 Hydroblasts. 1 foil. So can anyone confirm it's moxfield.com/Kalikaiz? Nope. How do you get a link to... What's like the public link to that? Profile. Ah. There we go. On the play. We have a turn 2 Modern Age. We should probably just mulligan though. Guess I will keep this. Get rid of a Hydroblast. I was hoping that I could mulligan it into an artifact hate card, but it seems like that was not the case. We play a bridge. Yay! Kill your bridge. Great Furnace. Turn 1 Krarkland, or turn 2 Krarkland Shaman. Let's preordain. Looking for lands now. We have the bottom, look for lands. Found the Dust to Dust. So if I find another land, I can snap and then untap my plains for the Dust to Dust mana. Pass the turn. There's an Ichor Wellspring. We will make an attempt. Pick up the island. Snap this thing. They have to sacrifice something in order to not get dusted this turn. Inside Out is a way to destroy a wall, a defender, an O power creature, without and you draw a card. And when there's a familiar in play, it costs 1 mana. They've got a Cryogen. So we're going to take out the black and red source. That way they can't pyro me. Doink, doink. And they can't cast any of their dispute effects. They concede. I love it. It's the only way to deal with Affinity. Affinity must die. Maybe we don't need the flicker. Bring back in a foil. Maybe 2 foils. Cryogen is very strong because it's a cheap way to get on the board, cantrip, and then you also have a lot of power in regular just card draw from it. So we have Dust to Dust lined up on like turn 4, which is mid, but can't really do much better with what we've got. Maybe we'll draw Plains, maybe we'll draw an Ash Barrens, and then have turn 3 Dust to Dust. Looks like they have a Duress. There goes my Dust to Dust. They did mulligan to 6, which means they have barely any cards in hand, but Affinity can get past that pretty quickly. Yeah, I like Cryogen a lot. We got a Nihil Spellbomb, a Refurb, just discard an extra land. Chanceries are giving me lots of value there. Your turn. If they do have, if they tap out and I draw a snap, I'll probably just go snap into Drifter Ephemerate. Is it over? No, I think you need the Mole Drifter still, because you can't just play Cryogen Relic. You run out of things to do. We've got ye old double refurb start. Let's evoke the Mole Drifter, see if they have a Pyroblast. Looks like no. Play a land. They've got 4 power on the table. Now I have Drifter Ephemerate plus foil, which is one of my favorite things to do. Let's see if this will resolve. Evoke the Mole Drifter. We draw 2 cards. How about I draw 2 more cards? How's that sound? Oh, just happens. Okay, I'll discard a Preordain. I don't want to discard the Deep Analysis there because I need it to draw cards. And if I discard it, they'll just Nihil Spellbomb it. We're at 10 life. Could be dying soon. We'll counterspell your Viscera's Insight. Discarding. What's up, Guido? Remember, we have no Faithfuls in the deck. Let's see. Cryogen Relic. Draw a card. Another foil. Play the Chancery. Pick up this. Let's just bounce a Refurb. I'm going to block this one, counterspell the other one. They're killing their lands for us, yes. Let's get rid of your affinity. Block. Nope. Counterspell. Nope. Counterspell again. So now let's draw some cards. Draw 2. Draw 2. I am at 7 life. I need to take out the red sources. Find the Dust to Dust. If I can play Dust to Dust, I have 6 mana in play. I can cycle for planes and get rid of every single one of their lands this turn. Sweet. I'm at 7 life though. They've gotten rid of my board. Let's start by going revoke on the blue source. Grab an island. I guess maybe that wasn't the right play because what I was really trying to do was get rid of. Let's get rid of these. Wanted them to have no red sources so they couldn't Pyroblast me or Galvanic Blast me. Now the Galvanic Blast is only 2 damage. Play Familiar. Draw 2. They could just have a Pyroblast here and be sad. Okay, fine. Discard. I'll draw 2. I'm at 4 life, right? So I have to not die to a Galvanic, and I did draw a Hydroblast. We can exile 2 target artifacts. Let's discard Snap. No, discard the Familiar. Let's exile 2 target artifacts. Draw card. I'll Mancer. I think I got it. It was pretty clear. Should we try to close out the league? We are 4-0, so I might as well, right? I gotta go in. Started out 2-0 moving into this. All the best players in the Pauper are stuck in the Showcase Challenge. I'd like to, I don't know. It seems like I need to play more big events and just get used to that. Because I don't know what it is, but I always bomb. I went 0-2 in the Showcase. Getting wrecked. Yeah, that's what happens versus Affinity. You just play your artifact hate and win the game. Bam, bam, bam. I lost 1-2 against Mono Blue Terror, and in game 3, they drew 4 lands, 3 terrors, and every other card was a counterspell. And then I lost versus Heath, Pro Tour player. They played Dimir Modern Age stuff with Abjure, and they countered every single thing that I could possibly have played for 1 mana and value. We can brew that up. You know what? People get lucky, people get unlucky. It happens. I just wish that there were more events that I could play in where I could have an opportunity to be the one that gets lucky. But I'm not going to I'm not going to keep playing 9 rounds where I started 0-2 and just ruin my day. Vlad, are you in Russia? I don't know if Familiars is the best Relic deck or not. I think a lot of decks are really good at Relic. I think that the Boros Synth deck is really good at Relic, which is surprising. Singapore. Oh, okay. Are you playing Tide today? Are you 3-0? We can look people up. You only have to win 5 more rounds in a row to make it to the top. So you're good. 1 a.m. My brain shut down at 2 p.m. last time. But this kind of solidifies that I should bring High Tide to my event next week in paper. Okay. So this is Bombage. They're playing some blue deck, most likely. Got an early familiar. They a lot of times play Tron. Yeah, coming in 9th in the Showcase is so rough. When I played the Showcases and I made it to the top 8, it was like a 120 person event. It was not almost 300 people. I think that the prestige of getting there is just so much higher now. It's crazy. You said that your lady friend was pretty pissed with you? I wonder if my opponent's just double queuing the Showcase. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it. Hype, 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 hype. The 5-0 hype. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta do crazy stream stuff where nonsense happens for more donations. Thanks, man. What is the timeout time? Come back to me, Bombage. This would be my third 5-0 with Cryogen, yeah. Okay. They're probably not double queuing. Oh, messed that up. I think this player is actually Polish. Okay, so they played Ephemerate the last 2 times. Mystic. They played it prior to Cryogen existing. Yeah, trying to turn up the noise. If someone wants to just join timeout for a 5-0, I would take it for sure. I don't even remember what I played in the first 2 rounds. I was thinking about the... So if we are playing a deck with Abjure, I don't know. I always want to try to go to 18 lands, but then I run out of stuff. But previously, we tried like 4 beachfronts. Okay, they're back. Unfortunate. Okay, we found 2 Chanceries. That's bad. We can bottom those. They said that they were talking there with their wife. Looks like they are on Tron. Chancery, your turn. Turn 3, we have Familiar. We have to check the task manager. Let's see how busted. 2,900. So my application is starting to chug. Has Pauper become more diverse? Probably. People are just kind of trying stuff right now. They've got 3 mana, so they could crop into Tron. Let's just try playing the Archaeomancer for the Preordain. They're probably going to map. Okay, so they're fine with me having the Preordain. Let's see if they'll let this resolve. Rifter, Modern Age. You want both of these, I think. Okay, they get Tron. Because they have the Energy Refractor, they can basically do anything. Plays Cryogen Relic, Prophetic Prism. They could have either Unwind or Prohibit right now. Dropping. Let's attempt to evoke this. So Energy Refractor means, let's see, draw 2. I'll try snapping the Muldrifter now that I drew a Familiar. Resolves. Okay. Play a Sunscape. We'll evoke the Muldrifter. Draw 2. Double Flicker. Attempt to Flicker. They could have... Oh, they scoop. Yes. I love it. All right. That was lucky. That was very lucky. I have not been playing Lorians here because I was trying to just not have bad opening hands, essentially. I was getting tired of dying to not having lands, but then I was just doing it anyway. Okay, so the Faithfuls don't do anything, so we immediately can bring in some number of counter spells. Then the Hydroblasts, right? So we can probably cut these 2 cards. No, cut these 2, cut the Mystic, all the Faithfuls, and then maybe 1 foil. You could also bring in something like the Last Breath to exile their walls, which is an option. Wonder how good that would be. So if they're playing this version that's using Flicker specifically, I think I would rather try to fight on the stack. Yeah, they have Unwind and Prohibit only usually. But sideboard, they have a ridiculous amount of counters. And that's why we have the Hydroblasts. They have all the Pyroblasts. So this hand is fine, but the problem is that double Modern Age plus the Chancery, we're like discarding a lot. Preordain's good. Prohibit. So let's top and top. So if they go land, crack the map, then we leave up Prohibit trying to counter their first colored rock, and that makes it so that they could get stranded. There are certain times when they keep just the rock and then they die. Okay, so they're going to map for Tron. They're 99% to play a rock, which we will attempt to counter. Cracks the map. So 5 cards, 6 cards in hand. They play the Mine. Refractor. That is probably the best thing we could counter because that really cuts them off of colors. So now they have a Prism. But this is only 1 colored source. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Plains. Play a Modern Age. We have kind of a lot of Hydroblast in hand. They could Pyroblast this or Prohibit it, which would be actually not too bad for us. Unwind is kind of annoying, but it doesn't actually help them because they didn't have any more color sources, specifically because I countered the Energy Refractor. They're impulsing. But given that, if they don't find another colored source, my best draw is Muldrifter. Draw Relic. I'll start on the Relic then. Draw Foil. I think I just have to put the Modern Age on the table and probably discard Hydroblast. Next turn I can flicker Cryogen and the Island. Draw Snap. That's not that good here. Discard the Snap. Play Island. They're going to Impulse. So I'm kind of expecting them to play something like some creature that draws cards or something that draws cards, and then I use the foil, and then they have a Pyroblast, which I'll Hydroblast in response. But they know that I discarded a Hydroblast, so they probably should see that I have extra Hydroblast in my hand. Okay, they're going Muldrifter. We're going to hardcast a foil. Please play a Pyroblast. Please play a Pyroblast. If they cast it Prohibit, I'm dead. If they cast Pyroblast, they're dead. And they have the Prohibit. Okay. Dang. Negate. They said that they're playing internet in a spot where, they're playing Magic in a spot where they don't have internet that's reliable. That's a little sketchy. So I probably will end up cutting all the dead air from this and then reposting it, I guess, because it's pretty sweet. We recovered pretty well here overall. They draw 2 cards. Gonna go to 5 cards in hand. There's a program called Time Bolt, which you can buy on the internet. And that just cuts the dead air for you. It's an automatic program. There's some settings that you have to do. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Looking for a Mole Drifter. We found it. Let's go. Evoke the Mole Drifter. We are on the up. Ephemerate. Got multiple Hydroblasts available, so I'll pass. This can probably protect the Mole Drifter. I doubt they're playing something like a Cast Down, but it's possible. They decline to attack into my Vector Glider. My turn. Now I can draw forward instant speed with the Flicker. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. So many Hydroblasts in hand. Oh man, cutting the dead air is insane. I cannot do it without, like, it's just, cannot watch Magic Online content otherwise, which is like, I was wondering about people wanting to hang out on the stream because of that specifically, you know? Let's attack in. So I have a problem here where I needed a land drop. I have too many cards in my hand. We could just... I have too many cards. I need a land. Draw a card. I need them to do something. I could respond with my cards. Okay. I guess I play the Chancery. Pick up the Plains. We're going to discard the Plains and the Deep Analysis. Yes. For sure. I learned that divination for lands, that'd be nice. I played so much Mystic Sanctuary Familiars that I am extremely specific about how I manage the clock. Like, you see me never pressing the OK button because I have my hand like resting on the keyboard using the hotkeys. Thanks, Mark. Opponent does not attack. You know, I would really love it to make it to Italy. I was hoping that they would just pay my way. I know that's greedy. They have not decided to do that yet. 3, 4, 5. I guess I have to just cast a Mole Drifter. Need some lands. They give me something to do. Counter your Pyro. Prohibit. Counter your Pyro. Okay. Many Pyros were had, so I got to dump my hand. They're down to 3 cards. They only have 3 colored sources in play. I've got multiple, no, they have 4 colored sources. Bummer. But they only have 3 cards in hand. Should I block? I think no. Because they could have a Pulse Marasa. We're going to attack in. Then Archaeomancer to grab the Ephemerate. They scoop. Bam! We got the 5-0. I think only 3 of those rounds were on stream, so it was a 3-2 today overall, I guess. Do I think that the hype is warranted? The deck, I mean, this card is really strong because when you can get the synergy going, it is just super overpowered. If it's just like pay 4, draw 2 cards and stun, I don't think that's like an overpowered thing. Turn on the thing, the disable hover zoom again. Boom. So this was the deck I played. Cryogen Relic. So it's, if you look at deep analysis, in familiars, you're kind of happy to pay 4 mana to draw 2 sometimes, which is good. But then this is sometimes the same thing, pay 4 mana to draw 2. But it also can go absolutely insane with Ghostly Flicker or potentially Echoing Truth. And we were talking about how we got absolutely destroyed by Abjure. So the Cryogen Relic, it's just like a synergy card that I think when the synergy actually gets there, it just goes way over the top, which is awesome. I think that so Jack, I think flying people out to Paupergeddon for publicity, it sort of makes sense, but at the same time, every single Pauper player in the world knows about Paupergeddon, and they had to raise the cap to 1,500 players just to like fit the amount of people that already wanted to go without the publicity. So it's kind of like a losing battle. But, you know, every time that the subscriber count goes up and people watch more Pauper videos and we get more people playing Pauper, maybe it just gives me an opportunity, or it gives us an opportunity to have something like that in the United States. And there is a event next weekend in Rochester. There's an event this weekend happening right now if you guys want to see some more. Thanks, Doug. You're the man. I think Gavin probably flew himself out from Wizards. But I think, yeah, so there's actually another event happening right now in the South. So it's hosted by the Common Ground folks podcast. Let me see if I can get the link to that. I'll put that in the chat. Make sure that people can check it out. I don't know if it'll work. Oh. Twitch.tv/game night TN. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the live stream. I definitely had a sick time, so thank you everybody for coming. Thanks Doug for not only moderating but also double bonuses. Jeez, what a guy. Thank you. All right, cheers everybody. We'll see you next time.